Today we're here, we're going to talk to Josh. Josh is my son-in-law, wonderful man. He is first degree forge. He is the bladesmith. He is the edged weapons guru. So that's, we've talked about before. You saw the video of the blades he made for my wife and I. But we're here today working on Josh's trike, and he has a wonderful story. I love vehicles with a story behind them. So I'm going to let Josh tell his story and what's going on. There you go, Josh, it's all yours.
Hey, what's going on? All right, so basically, I've had this bike about 2.5 years at this point, going on 3. It was passed down to me when my father passed away. I was always meant to ride with my father and his brothers, my uncles. They do a yearly bike week. It's called the Brothers Bike Week, where they all get together. And I made my dad a promise that I would ride with him before he can't. Unfortunately, I was not able to maintain said promise, but when he passed, not only did he pass down his bike to me, he also passed down his spot in the Brothers Bike Week. So now every year in his honor, I ride his bike and wear his colors for Brothers Bike Week. And yeah, it's been an amazing bike for me. I've put probably 30,000 miles on it, and this is my first time doing maintenance with the help of this awesome man. Yeah, it's really humbling to me to be able to ride my father's ride. That's why I have named it Daddy. So yeah, it's great. I love it, and I'm very happy to be here getting guidance in how to fix it myself instead of having somebody else do it for me, which is really awesome. I've learned a lot. I don't remember more than half of it, but that's okay.
We have plenty more time to do it. We're good.
Absolutely plenty more time. But yeah, it's been a ride.
So what about, tell about the first 2 rides that you went on with.
All right. Well, oh yeah, the first 2 rides I went on with it. Okay. Well, let's say the day that I picked it up, okay, I went and got my license at the Harley shop. So went through the 3-day classes, got my license, had never ridden before that class other than a bicycle, so that doesn't really count. But went and got my license from the Harley class, and then drove down to Florida where my father's house was to pick up his belongings and this bike, and I drove it back from Florida. My very first ride was 350 miles on this trike.
That's awesome.
And everything that could possibly go on during that trip happened. Dad was like, here, I'm gonna break you in on your first ride. So I had mechanical failures, I had a lot of weather issues, a lot of rain, the battery kept shutting off, so the bike was dying the whole way. This gasket that we have to currently replace was obviously busted back then because I got a softball sized blister on my right leg, right where that gasket's blowing out hot air. So yeah, everything you can imagine happened on my first ride on that 350 miles. So Dad broke me in good. After that, about 6 months later, was my first Brothers Bike Week, which my uncles and I loaded all the bikes up in a trailer and drove them to Denver, Colorado. We parked the truck, got the bikes out, and we went through the entire mountain range of Colorado from the bottom to the top and back again. That was probably the most amazing experience I've ever had on a bike. That was meant to be my father's last ride. He passed before that could happen, so I stepped in his place, and we took his ashes to the highest possible peak we could ride to in Colorado and left some of him there so he could experience that. He is also in the bell that's underneath this bike. There's a little canister next to it. So Dad rides with me everywhere I go, and it's pretty phenomenal. The second Brothers Bike Week this past year, we left from here, LaGrange, Georgia, and drove all the way to Niagara Falls and back on our bikes.
I bet that was great.
That was incredible. That was absolutely amazing. We didn't actually take the bikes to the falls, you know, we parked, but still, we got on a ferry, went over into Canada, came back, did the whole Niagara Falls experience, got back on the bikes and rode. Now half of that trip we were soaking wet already because it was raining the whole time, so we didn't mind Niagara. It was a beautiful trip. after that, I had a knife show that I had to go to in Arkansas, and I rode the bike out to Arkansas about 7.5 hours. Parked it for the weekend, went to start it. It was about 35-40 degrees that morning, so I knew it needed to warm up. Tried to start it, and the gasket just blew out. It was a really loud pop, and then there was no compression. It was just
that was the rear cylinder head gasket.
That
right?
rear cylinder head gasket blew out. I was standing over here trying to crank it, and I just felt all the air hit me, and yeah, so ended up talking to Jeff here and Mr. Grumps Garage, and he loaned me a trailer so I could drive out there and pick it up and bring it back home. And here we are putting it together so I can ride again. And here we are.
Very good.
Yeah.
Give you a brief look down at the bike. Check it out here.
Yeah.
Beautiful trike. I've ridden this bike. It rides so nice.
Really does. This is the Cadillac of Harleys, I'm telling you.
It's so nice. Everything about it is just done so well. Done so well. And I love I love any vehicle with history, but especially this. It's heartfelt.
Absolutely.
It's a remembrance. It's a homage for Dad. It's for Josh to remember Dad. And we have to do things that make a difference in our lives. We can't just, anybody can go out and just spend money and buy a bike and be a weekend warrior. But to have something that's been passed down, something that has heart, something that has a pulse, something that means something to us, something that's going to be in his family for the rest of his life.
Absolutely.
It will probably pass down to his kids. And I just think that is wonderful. Mm-hmm. And I hope you guys like this. Please like it, subscribe it, and comment. Say something to us. Say hi to Josh.
Subscribe!
That's it. Josh, we're out of here. Appreciate you, bud.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Again, what's your site?
First Degree Forge.
That's
you
it.
can Google it. You can find me everywhere.
And you got a big show coming up. What's that big show coming up?
Blade Show Atlanta.
When is that?
That is June, first weekend in June. I think it's the 7th through the 9th or 6th through the 8th. Don't remember exactly, but it happens every year in Atlanta. It's the biggest knife symposium in the world. I've got a table smack dab in the middle of the big room, so if you guys have a chance to make it out, come see me.
You guys come out there and see Josh, and you might even find me and my wife hanging out at the same time.
Right.
Anyway, enjoy your day. Thank you so much for checking us out and putting up with us, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.